everybody, my name is Tatiana and this is
Maike.
And we are here today collaborating Flute Practice with Maike Watson, and we're going to chat a little bit about useful apps to use in your practice. So Maike, first, most important app, what do you think?
I think a metronome is definitely key because it doesn't matter what instrument you play, like learning to play in time is kind of a critical skill.
So here's our phone. She's definitely got an upgrade to me, I think. I got, you guys know my terrible old Samsung. What do you think is the most important things with metronome apps?
So I definitely think you need to be able to set your time signature. So choose whether it's 3/4 or 4/4.
Yep, that's probably pretty important, especially, if you have got first beat emphasis on. It's the little setting you've got on your app, and you can decide whether you want to hear like bing, bang, 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 bing, or if you just want to hear like bang, 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 bang. To actually figure out if you're, in the right place in the bar.
Another thing I really like in a metronome, it's not critical to have, but when you can actually set the rhythm, so you have like triplets against a crotchet or that kind of thing, or a quarter note if you're in America.
And also, like, I think sometimes making sure it's loud enough, so to have a sound on the metronome. Sometimes when they're a little bit like too too mellow, flutey, it's like so like already. You need something that's a little bit like ding, ding, ding.
I think you can actually get metronomes that vibrate. So they're specifically made for drummers actually when they're practicing drums.
Whoa, that's
so
cool.
On your legs. So I mean, you can also do that with a flute.
I wonder if there's one that can like electrocute you.
Oh wow, that's like overboard. Tatiana's crazy school.
Sometimes, some tunes I'm like beat, beat, beat. This is very violent. No, I'm joking. It's a little shock, like
just a little harmless. It's for your own good.
It's for your own good.
What other apps do you think we can?
Well, I think for flute players, like a tuner that kind of goes hand in hand with the metronome.
Oh, tuner.
No, guys, not the tuna the fish or Tuna the dog. Very cute dog, by the way.
I'm a pianist, so I don't know what these things are.
But she also plays the viola and the bassoon. Hashtag she should know. But okay,
I should know.
But this time for a bad viola joke because no. Okay, tuna's a really good idea. She was excited. She was like, "Give me the viola joke." No viola joke. No viola joke.
Viola joke. Just leave one in the description, please.
Yeah, please. If any viola players, that's a good idea. Leave them down below. We love viola jokes. Okay, we're both viola players, so
yeah, that's actually how we met in junior school. We played in like an orchestra. I didn't even know she played the flute.
There we go.
And then one day all of a sudden she was like the best flautist, and I was like, oh,
best flautist.
She was the world.
So tuna. Well, I think what's really good about a tuner, of course, to check individual notes. Remember guys, pianos are very out of tune. What? We will get into detail into this, but you want to make sure that you're tuning also kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like relative tuning.
Relative tuning, that's the word, yeah. I think I've spoken a little bit about this in some videos. Maybe just get like a pitch, like a tuner that can play one pitch, and then you practice. Oh my god, don't tune like that. But the point is, you want to be able to tune, even like playing a fundamental tone, and then playing a scale over that so that you're really tuning all your intervals. It's useful.
But talking about tuners and practicing your scales, recording yourself is also really useful.
That's so true.
A recorder, most phones have them, but you can also get like special apps for that.
Yeah, and in fact, like, I think if you don't have a phone even, you could, a lot of stuff you can do on your laptop, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To record your playing, your practicing. It even just puts you under pressure sometimes when you.
Yeah, it makes you feel a bit more like you're performing. And also hearing your playing from a different perspective, you might hear things you wouldn't usually hear. And for those of you that are obsessed with like seeing your own progress, I know that I like to do that. But if you have a recording from like 3 months ago and then you listen to a current one, it can also be really encouraging to hear how far you've come. And then also like, I hear you guys have been doing some improvising together, so you get apps that play chords, like chord progressions.
That's very cool.
You can practice to those. A
friend of mine was telling me about that. That is a really cool idea. Like, yeah, there's some different ones actually. So I think what we're gonna do is we need to actually explore these improv apps, which I think we're gonna do to see which ones are actually really useful and helpful. Yeah. And then we're gonna do a little bit of a session getting back to you with that. I think that's really cool. I was thinking, like, what about an app that does scale cards? Like,
like flashcards, but like scales.
Yeah. I was looking earlier, and admittedly, this is a horrible phone, guys. I'm sorry, but I didn't find any apps that specifically like give you scale cards, but yeah, if you took a flashcard app and you just put your scales in and then you kind of like clicked on it or whatever, and you know, like flashcards, it went through your scales. I don't know, do you think there's any scale apps? Have you ever checked?
I don't know of any. I know that you can get flashcard apps that like you can say whether or not you got it right or wrong, and then if you get it wrong, they're going to keep asking you the ones that you got wrong.
If any of you do this already, like please let us know how it goes. That's a great. I used to just like have like, or I used to make my own even. I used to like color them in paper and like, scale cards.
Color them in to avoid practicing your scales.
Of course,
pretty much.
The more glitter, the better. Obviously, guys, come now. I guess maybe like your standard stuff, like maybe a notepad on your, or like a, you know, space. I always love those boxes that you can check, you know, and you can like, I've done it, I've done it, I've done it.
Don't lie, you've probably put something on there that you've already done just to check that box.
I've done that. But there's just, okay, but it's like, you know, you've done something, maybe you spent your whole day at the bank and, you know, you didn't put it on your little to-do list. And then you're like, I spent my whole morning doing this, and you can see all those unchecked boxes of all the things you were supposed to do. And then I'm just like, okay, well, if I put it in there and then I check my box, then...
You feel a bit better about yourself.
You know?
I know that, like, you can get timers, so some of us can only practice half an hour a day or whatever, however long, and you can just have a timer, so that's sometimes quite useful.
I used to set an alarm clock for myself in my practicing to force myself to take breaks. I'm serious. I used to do that.
So that's like the opposite.
I was a bit of a music nerd, admittedly.
Just a little bit.
Okay. But maybe set your alarm and then you know that that's when you have to stop. You know, if you don't hear your alarm go. I mean, I think a clock generally is a good thing, but luckily I think every, you know, self-respecting self-worth has
Not a BlackBerry. If you use a BlackBerry, please.
We're in South Africa. I don't know if the rest of the world even knows about Blackberries.
Alright, we still have Blackberries here, guys.
Crackberries, as they're also known. Not great phones. Don't use them. Alright, everybody. That was just a little something which will help you along your practice way. If you have any more cool apps or suggestions or uses of technology, I think this is such an awesome, you know, medium which we should be using. You can look at her cool channel.
So it's electronic music if you guys like making beats or recording your own stuff. So if you've heard of the Ableton Push, where you can like program your beats, I'm about to do a 2 weeks with Push series where you learn the whole thing in 14 days. So stay tuned for that. Okay, bye!
Bye, everybody!
Do you have like a specific outro that you usually do?
Usually I say, so that was just a little bit about apps, different stuff you can use. In fact, if you Google metronome, the first thing that comes up is a metronome, which you just press play. It's pretty cool. Have you ever done it?
No, I haven't.
It's amazing. You just Google metronome and it's like, you know, those like little helpful boxes that come up.
Yeah.
With a quick answer. It's like the quick metronome.
And you can set the time signature.
It's not that sophisticated, to be fair. But you can like choose how fast and slow. But it's, you know, quick fix. I guess a quick fix. Quick fix. I mean, okay.
We've been there.
Okay, we're probably there.
Yeah.